Hello, everyone. This is Down for the Cause. You know that show I introduced to you last week? Well, this show is back. The brother, Mr. Arnese, founder, Down for the Cause. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to know the reason, or one of the reasons, that I'm so excited about seeing this brother put before you is because he has a vision, and I'm speaking, has a vision that I believe that you should hear. And if you take this video and pass it on to your friends hey, you'll be doing the cause a great favor. Mr. T.S., Down for the Cause. Have you been watching the last episode?
Yes.
What do you think about it?
I think what I thought when I said it. I felt what I seen, what I felt, what I said. I feel like that, bro.
Let me ask you this. I know you don't like to waste time, but since that last production to this time, I know you focused on what you've been saying, and you probably, maybe, just maybe, focus on the community a little bit better, a little deeper, based upon your conversation. You notice anything out there that might be a little different than what you were saying before? Do you see anything that might be getting a little better?
No, I see the community just like I see it. You know, like I said in the last taping, brother, there's a history here. You know, and there's a history. So if you take a look at that, and then you can tell me if things change or getting better from the last taping or the last 300 years. You be able to tell me. I'm saying no.
Brother, I was just thinking about some conversations we've had over time, and I want to ask you about one in particular. When you go out to this community, you don't see that many black clubs. You don't see that many black businesses, but you see a lot of other businesses.
Right.
Why do you think that stuff happens? No black business, but all these other businesses.
Well, that's part of the plan, bro. I mean, you can go to a predominantly black city in the United States, take D.C. or Detroit, Chicago, you know, wherever. It's a lot of us at. And you would still see that same thing. We happen to be in Minnesota. But if you go to D.C., you're going to still see foreigners at your corner store, at your gas station, at your laundromat. You know, where the hell you supposed to be flourishing at, somebody else doing that job.
Nah. Why is that happening?
That's part of the plan, brother. We have been disenfranchised in this land, the United States of America. That's part of the plan.
I had a brother in the car with me today, and his conversation was, look at all this nice houses and nice businesses. They just got everything. Look at what we got. What we got? We ain't got nothing. And I'm thinking to myself, do you know why? Now, we have been disenfranchised. We all would agree, I think, at least a lot of us would. Very few of us would do anything about it. What would you say specifically could be a solution to this disenfranchisement as we've been discussing it tonight?
Well, you know, you like I said, you're asking a Garveyite that question. So it's paramount that the local viewers understand that. You know, you're talking to someone who deal with the ultimate solution, not just the problem. You know what I mean? Deal with the solution of the problem. And most of us in this country only deal with the solutions, the symptoms, simply because if you deal with the solutions, ain't no money in it. And if there's money in it, you're going to get cut off. You know what I mean? If you go to dealing with the problem, you know what I mean? So, you talking to one who is a Garveyite. Once again, my brother.
Well,
no, hold on. So therefore, I'm talking to a small segment of the community. I'm saying niggas ain't gonna get shit in this land. This ain't my opinion. These are the facts. And you can tell that by going over the history. Unless they change their mind toward their oppressor. Until they give up Jesus. Until they give him up.
Now wait a minute now. Come on, brother.
Hold on, Charlie. You talking to a realist, okay? These white people in this land, for these hundreds of years, know exactly what he's done to you. You have no clue on what you want to do with him. That's the fucking problem. Okay? He knows exactly what to do with you. You have no clue on what to do with him. And it's simply because you've been indoctrinated to the European paradigm. You have been indoctrinated. You believe in a white Jesus. You hate everything black. Or you don't have faith in things that's black. And you believe in the white man because he solved your problem when you say, Master, I need help.
Now, wait a minute now. Are you trying to say that black people ain't got no God?
I'm trying to say that 95% of the black people in America got a white God.
Well, are there different gods?
Of course they are. Of course they are. Your perception is of your God. Your perception. We don't have, brother. We don't have an impression or perception of a black God. We have an only perception of a white God, and that is the white man.
Well, look, are we going to ever get out of this bondage? I heard you say a moment ago, if we wake up and do it ourselves. And based upon our history, every now and then, a few people rise up. And like you always say, we still right here in that same old spot. I don't want to be in this spot, brother. What can I do about it?
Well, brother, you really have to mean what you just said. I don't want to be in this spot. What are you willing to give up to not be in this spot?
Well, I really want to make sure I keep this conversation from down for the call, so we're going to talk about that at a different time. I'm glad you asked, though, but I just want the people to be knowing.
Well, you can ask me that question, bro.
Okay.
Because I don't think the average person out there understand what I mean when I say I'm a Gaviite. So the answer to, if you had to ask me, what am I willing to give up to solve this problem? Okay. That's everything.
Everything.
Everything. If someone locked me up for 25 years, and all of a sudden they open the door and say, you're free, I'm not going to question where I'm going. I'm walking out. Okay?
I heard this brother, he's a Vietnam vet, and he was talking about how he put his life on the line and what he had to do over in Vietnam. And he's talking about how he would easily give up his life. But then the challenge came when his door was rammed on by death. His conversation now is, let us joker face death, and I guarantee you every last one will run to see if they can get away from it.
Well, let's take a look. Hold on, I see where you're going with this. Let's take a look at the examples today of people facing death, okay, in the interest of the cause. Okay? Now, you are implying that when it comes to one facing death, it's easy to sit here and talk that shit. Basically, we on the same page?
Right.
Okay. But when you face death, then you are saying, then you know what you're going to do. That's what you're saying, right?
That's right.
Okay. Let's take suicide bombers today.
Right.
Okay. Do you think the suicide bombers you know of, when they faced death, they ran from it?
Well, if they did, they're not suicide bombers.
Okay. Well, the ones you know of.
What do you mean? Oh,
the ones you know of, the ones you heard about,
as far as your reference,
as far
as your reference goes, then yes, I totally agree.
Okay. So you cannot use that as an analogy when it comes to black folks, because you got some around here that's truly down for the cause, and understand they died before they death.
Right.
Okay.
No doubt.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. died before his death. Or he would have been just like you said. He would have said, fuck that, I ain't down for these niggas. And I'm gone.
That's right.
Okay? Malcolm X died before we seen him get killed.
Okay, now.
I'm just making my point, brother.
Okay.
Please don't do that, because you could be among people that you're saying because of how you feel. You know what you're going to do. But don't say the next man going to do that.
Now, while you talking, I want you to clarify this you that you keep saying too. Who you saying to when you talk about you? I want the audience to know who you saying you to.
I'm referring to the person who you was talking about that said when he come to that point, then he'll know what he gonna do. I'm talking about you, him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just don't want the audience thinking that we are at odds with one another.
Oh, no. If we are, then we gotta be. Because, okay, hold on, brother. If we are, then we gotta be. But I know that we are not. Mm-hmm. Okay? You may not be down for the cause. Mm-hmm. I'm aware of that now. So why would I be at odds with you when it comes down to being down for the cause?
Well, see, that wouldn't be a true statement.
No, what I'm saying is you're not gonna die for your mission.
Let me ask you something. That's why I say I wanted to keep this on you and not on me, because I guarantee you I do my walking. I guarantee you that I can do it. I can talk about it real good.
Who was you referring to when you brought that whole
No, I'm speaking for the general audience, because I am the guy who's out here in the audience, who's listening to you. I am the guy who's thinking. You must be out your damn mind. Listen. So I'm speaking for that guy who to give you a chance to speak to that guy.
But I'm not trying to speak to that guy. But okay, hold on. I told you there's a small segment of people that I'm after. I'm not even interested in what that guy is thinking about my rhetoric. I'm not even thinking about that.
But see, at this point, it's not after it leave you and it come on this tube.
But I made it abundantly clear before it left.
Of course you did.
Okay.
Of course you did.
Yes, sir.
But this guy over here that's listening to it will be affected by it one way or the other. He might be trying to be affected by it in such a way that it would benefit everything that you're doing because you've opened up his eyes. It could be.
Then he's a part of that small segment.
But he's only there because he's asking the questions. He's thinking. So that's why I'm speaking for him, just to give you a chance to tell you.
Then I gave a response to that person who asked the question. I'm not thinking about that person.
Okay. Well,
I don't give a damn about that person. That person don't give a damn about me.
Well,
this shit's clear.
So what is supposed to happen in a situation where you got two parties and neither one of them give a damn about each other?
Neither one wants to be the first to say goodbye. I understand. I thought it was clear, but I guess I will reiterate myself. There is no problem with that scenario, brother.
Right.
One would act and one won't. There's nothing. I don't see a problem with it. You know, I don't see how we got to try to work something out or be on the same page about it. Or it's the reaction.
Here's the problem. As this other dude that was riding in the car earlier with me today said, they got this and we ain't got nothing.
So are you willing, this person who you referring to as Joe Public, are you referring to say, okay, well, I guess we ain't gonna have nothing because I ain't leaving?
No, the question is...
Now I'm talking to Joe Public now.
Okay.
Right? Now, and usually I don't want to talk to because I talked to him long enough to know the answer to my own question. This motherfucker ain't going nowhere.
So
he will suffer. He won't even leave the prison when they open the door up. He ain't going nowhere.
Okay. Well, you know, we had said we were going to do 15 minutes, right?
Are you setting this up?
No, getting ready to cut off.
Oh,
I know it is.
Finally?
Okay, but anyway, for the benefit of discussion, brother, I'm telling you, man, I've really been enjoying this, and I'm sure that public, that small public out there that you are aware of, if they heard this, they are so thankful. I know how I am when I hear somebody say something that's profound. I have to stop and turn around, you know, like I do a lot of times when we speak. And I walk away, I have to stop and say, damn. Anyway, so I know that people get some good stuff. Now, I think a good question as we are getting ready to wrap up that some people might want to think of, and I'm talking about the small group. It probably would be real good if we could get together. Damn. How in the world can we do that? What's the best move to make? I'm in Detroit or Chicago, Philadelphia, but I'm hearing you. And I know empowerment comes from being together, but we so far apart and stuff like that. Is there anything that you think we could do where we at?
Well, understand the psychology, brother. That means, for me and those who understand psychology, if you understand psychology, that means you can manipulate people. You can get them to do what you want them to do. You know what not to say to them. You know what to say to them. You can control basically their emotion, therefore their behavior. I'm only down for those who, when I attempt to do that, I get a check-in because they're cognizant of it as well. Now, that layman or the brother who don't know the difference, he would only see me as I am. Okay? Now, so if you don't like my rhetoric, I'm going to know it before you. But you're going to know it. You see what I'm saying? You're going to know that I ain't playing games with you. You're going to know. Now, the answer to the question, brother, is if I don't run up against all that makes you uncomfortable, we're going to get along fine. We're going to get along great. But as soon as I start talking about things that matter, that could change the situation, here comes the problem. Because we are so embedded into our own demise that the shit is sacred to us. Meaning Jesus. All that's been given to us that we so-called hold dear. Now I'm running up against your psyche. I'm running up against shit that Master had told you all his life. Mama passed it down, Daddy passed it down, Master gave it to all of them. And it's just like a domino effect. It's coming down the generations. So when one step to you and say, hey, he lied, now you fucking with somebody's psyche. Okay? So what can be done? Only to bring the truth to you. And if you still rolling with Master, eliminate your motherfucking ass.
Whoa, whoa. Boy. Let me see. I'm trying to think of how many definitions I can come up with for eliminate. Let's see. Yeah. I don't. Anyway. You know, I think he's going to really reach some people.
Yeah, I'm negative and positive. Believe me, I know that. I'm fully aware of it, brother. There's no doubt about it. But I'm only after that certain segment of the population. I'm not after the masses. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm not here to do that. If you ever heard that expression, when you see him, follow him, or when you see her, follow him, it comes from a wise person who said that. Okay? Someone wise said that because when you heard that expression, it was from a positive point of view. So it came from somebody who knew the difference. When you see this person, follow them. If I attempted, let's say I'm not me, and I'm talking to the masses, and I say, see me, follow me. But I'm not me. See me, follow me. Brother, when it comes down to the psyche, you're going to know to go north. But you're going to be refused to leave the south.
You mean refused? So, you're trying to say there's like a bird that's been in a cage and restricted to a certain territory. You can open up the doors and stuff like that, and he would not go any place but the same place he's been in all the time.
No.
That's not what you're saying.
No. That ain't what I'm saying.
What you
Birds
saying?
are a little different. Although I understand what you're trying to say, because there's an instinct in animals that, like a pig, when they domesticated pigs that people eat and all that shit. When you let him loose, in 2 weeks he's back normal. Like he never been domesticated ever. And he was born in captivity. But if you send him into the wild, he a wild pig in 2 weeks. Like he never been raised in captivity. You see what I'm saying? There's an instinct in certain animals that once they get away from wherever they act, they will be who they are. No matter what condition you put them under. Now, I am one of those individuals. There have been people in our struggle who have came, who I'm only representing them. That's all I'm doing, bro.
Okay, well, I want to thank you so very much for coming before your public.
Okay, you also know, brother, you helped compose AAC mission statement. And in there, it says that we would challenge the belief systems, one of our principal points of the mission statement. We would challenge the belief system of our people that's not ours in the first place. So when you hear me coming at you, I'm only talking about things that's not you in the first place. This is not who you are. Okay, you've been raised by a foreigner. You're being raised by a pedophile, a schizophreniac. What they call the guy? What they call the guy, man? That you know, what is the word? It's escaping me right now. The guy that don't feel nothing, man. You know, what is it?
Sociopath?
Sociopath. We've been raised by a sociopath. Psychopath. That's what we've been raised by in this land. They don't feel shit for you. No, wait a minute now. Back up. You always got individuals in every group that is of some righteousness.